Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Well, good morning, my beautiful coffee beans. Welcome to Black Friday with Bullhorn Betty. We are in vertical mode somewhere on the ether, and we have no idea where that is. I did. Yeah, I did. Don't let me fool you. Don't let me fool you. It is nice to see you. Let me pause our Christmas stuff. We'll pause it. Nah, I don't like that. Let's get us something a little bit better. Maybe the Christmas tree. Maybe the Christmas tree. I have a vertical mode. I'm trying to test out the system, and I screwed it up this morning. I know I screwed it up this morning. I signed into Twitch. I think I might be vertically streaming on Twitch. I have no idea. I might be vertically streaming on YouTube. I have no idea. I remember putting a litany of stream keys and stuff into the system, and I got to figure out what I did. I have played around with this system for literally, I don't know, 2 hours this morning. That's why we're so late. We would have been going live around 6:30, but, I wanted to do this, this portrait mode scheme, see if I can get it all up and running. I've got the right, plugins on here. It's just the actual settings to make sure that it's done correctly. So if you guys do see me out there on the ether somewhere streaming vertically, please let me know where I'm at. I have no earthly idea, but I'm here. It's nice to see you. I'm Bullhorn Betty. We cover true crime. We're covering the case of Summer Wells. Not necessarily. Get over here. Let's go ahead and stop this carousel. Hold on a little bit. Let me find it in here. Must be up here somewhere. Where is my carousel? Tipping color. Green screen summer. This must be it right here. So let's pause this. Let's get this to a... Here, I think I like this one. Yeah, why not? It has kind of everybody kind of hodgepodged into one background of this. So we're hearing some new information about Summer Wells. And, we're all kind of tuning back in. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody talked about this case. I mean, this was a breaking case in the world of breaking cases. Let me see if I can set up a different scene on here. So let's do Summer Wells on our vertical, just in case we have, let's see here. Why can't I just copy over like the Summer Wells stuff from the vertical, from the horizontal side? Okay, well, whatever. Let's just build this real quick, just in case. Just in case. We have summer. What's this one? It's the Summer Wells slideshow. There we go. We'll do slideshow up here. And then we'll add my hinky little face in here. Let's do a video capture, green screen. There I am, green screen. You don't need to see my messy office. Hopefully it's not streaming on... streaming on YouTube or Twitch. Hopefully we're not streaming on any of it. There we go. We'll do some missing right there. I don't know what we're streaming on vertically. We are streaming vertically. I have a complete vertical side here. I can see that I'm streaming vertically. I just don't know where it's pumping to. So when you guys figure it out, please let me know. bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Let me say hi to everybody that's coming into the chat. Melanie, it's nice to see you. Eeyore Blues, hello, my love. Faye is up in the house. Melanie, Lisa, and if we are streaming vertically on Twitch and you want to know, like, nobody's here and you're like, let's go over there and chat with some people. I'm on YouTube. I'm Bullhorn Betty, and I'm on YouTube. So you can come on over here if you're on Twitch. If I got rolling on Twitch, you can come on over here and see me and communicate. I got it set up for like 10 or 20 minutes for chat. So I promised you guys I'd be a little easy. I know a lot of you guys are unsubscribing and resubscribing to the channel, and I didn't want to block you from being able to communicate. So I told you guys last night, if you guys unsubscribed and resubscribed, I'd wait 7 days before triggering the 2-day hold again. Lisa B, always, it's nice to see you. Good morning. Veronica, hello, my love. I saw you gave me a little treat as well, so thank you. I appreciate that. I'll get to it in just a second. I'm not quite there yet. I'm still at the top of the chat, but I did see it come in. So it's nice to see you, and thank you so very, 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 very much. Faye, oh, there you are. We just got to you. You were next. Good morning, Betty. Good morning, Veronica. It's nice to see you, love. It's nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Ashley, it's nice to see you up in the chat. Good morning. YouTuber is present. Denise, it's nice to see you. Mama, Brenda Sue, Let Them 66. Robin, it's nice to see you, love. I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving yesterday. I enjoyed it. I got so stuffed, my stomach hurt. Okay. I usually, I remember when I was like, 20 something, parents were divorced. You had to do 2 Thanksgivings. By the second Thanksgiving, I was literally in the bathroom vomiting. I was so full. It's disgusting, I know, but what do kids do? You guys don't understand the stuff that we have to deal with as children from split families, okay? You guys don't understand. You get 1 Thanksgiving. We have to get 2, sometimes 3, depending on how kind of crazy the family dynamic is, okay? You try to fit 3 Thanksgivings or even 2 Thanksgiving meals down your hatch, okay? I just want to put it in perspective for all you people out there, especially ones that are divorced and want to have Thanksgiving in the afternoon and the evening for your children, okay? They love you so much that they stuff their face with their mommy and their daddy so much that they have to hug a toilet when they're done with the both of you, okay? Don't do it to the children. I'm just joking. Jenny, it's nice to see you. Oh, thank you, Melanie. Melanie wrote TGIF, Betty, Delilah. Who, before I finish this up, and I'm going to get down to it. I'm not quite there yet, so you guys can go ahead and start putting your stuff in the chat now. Who is brave enough? I want to know here, right now, who is brave enough to get out on Black Friday? This day and age, 2025. How many of you dare to be out there? Let me know. Ones that you guys are out there shopping and you're getting some hell of a deals. And 2, you're saying hell to the nah. I'm staying my little butt home. I am not going anywhere. I'm not going out here fighting with all these crazy animals. We just aren't doing it. We're not doing it. Put a 1 or a 2 in chat. Which one are you? Which one are you? I am a 2. I'm the hell to the nah, okay? We ain't going out in this nonsense today. Not today, Satan. Not today. Oh, and I didn't get we only got our normal buttons. I forgot to put the other phone. I forgot to hook the other phone up with all the other, tunes that we have. So I might, if it calls for it, because we are getting in summer wells, so if it calls for it, I'll get up and get the other phone so we can have our noises, okay? Because I have a funny feeling I might end up having to do that. We need our noise, and we need our buttons, right? We need our buttons because I'm just saying. Lisa B. always nice to see you, plant lady. Hey, Peggy. It's nice to see you, love. I hope you are doing well. Tangled Cords, Dixie, it's nice to see you. Sandy, hello, my love. Who else do we have? Oh, Robin getting up there. 16 months, she trying really hard to get Betty to sing to her again, to serenade her soul. Woo, woo. We love you too, honey. We love you too. So I think we're kind of, oh, nope, it just popped up. Looks like I see some blue. It looks like at least one of my mods, Miss Pebbles, is up in the chat. Nice to see you, Miss Pebbles. Oh, we got a bunch of new names too. Look at this. It was holding out on me. Every now and again, this thing gets a little, back on the track with Kat. It's nice to see you. Gwen, good morning. Good morning. Pebbles, it's nice to see you. Cynthia, good morning, love. I hope you're doing well this morning. Who else do we have? I missed, Dina, you tried to sneak in. I almost missed you too. Everybody, apparently I'm just wanting to get moving. Oh my goodness. Ellie, it's nice to see you. NH, it's nice to see you. Hell no. Oh my gosh, Robin is going. She dares to get out in this wilderness. You are a brave woman. Kudos to you. I'm a 2. Amazon has Black Friday for days already. I'm good. I hear you. That's what I'm saying, Jenny. That's what I'm saying. I'm with you. I am absolutely with you. We're going to go for Cyber Monday, okay? We're going to go for Cyber Monday in the PJs, okay? I'm just letting you guys know. Oh, good gracious. Okay, so we have Tina, Patty. It's nice to see you, Julie, and wherever else I'm streaming from, guys. I really have no earthly idea where I'm streaming at this moment. So I do have a vertical. It's showing that my vertical is live. Let me just hit this button to make sure. Oh, I was not live. It looks like I might be live. No, I just turned it off again. Okay, let's turn it back on. I don't know what this means. I just don't know what this means. Do I have to hit this button here? Is that a record button? I don't know what the hell I'm doing over here. Hopefully I'm coming in. Hopefully I'm coming in on our feed. Let me just check and see, because I hit a button and now I see numbers. I see one recording. I don't want it recording. No. Let me just see. Maybe we got it. I don't know. What do we got going on here? Home? No, we only got one. We only got one stream, so I don't know. We're streaming somewhere, folks. We're either streaming on Twitch or we're streaming on YouTube somewhere. I'm lost. I'll have to figure it out. We'll figure it out. Once upon a time, we'll figure it out. So everybody is a 2, just about. We got a few. Patty and Robin are the only crazy ones of the bunch. They're the only crazy ones of the bunch. Julie, it's nice to see you. Oh, peace, love, Jeeps. I love it. It's nice to see you, love. It's nice to see you. Big Mac Mike, good morning. Melanie, good morning. So YouTube, and I guess got notified. Steffers, oh, it's hallelujah. Hallelujah. It's saying please use, what does it say? Open. I got a streaming error. What is it? It's probably on my vertical. Oh, we'll see what it has to say. It's saying keyframe frequency 4 seconds. I don't know what that means for keyframe things for 4 seconds. I can't see what the hell they're talking about, but I'm not going to end the stream. Ooh, we got the stuff up here. Keyframe frequencies of 4 seconds or less. Current frames are... So apparently I've got some frame issues. So if I haven't some frame issues, it is what it is. I don't really care at this point. We're going to roll with it and pray to God that we're doing it right. Somewhere out there in the ether, we're rolling. Landscape and vertical. And then again, like I said, I will figure it out somewhere, somehow. I'll figure out where the hell I just streamed to today. Okay, so hopefully we're all doing good, guys. I'm Bullhorn Betty. We're covering true crime. We're covering the case of Summer Wells, and we have a lot to get into. I'm not sure if the people on the vertical view, wherever you may be, is going to be able to see the screen or not. Okay, this is my first time kind of dealing with all of this stuff. I don't even have the vertical, content up. We're just dealing with. Betty, did you see the change to John Skelton with homicide right before he spoke? Yes, I did, Steffers. I did. I'm very pleased with that because he was in jail for custody issues and he was just about to be released, and they did a push several months ago, or maybe even almost a year ago, where they deemed the 3 boys deceased. Obviously, dad's in jail. Mom hasn't seen them. It's been years, literally years. And it is, we know that there's no possibility of survival. I mean, at this point, somebody would have seen them. The father took those children out to punish the mother, or not to have to take care of them, or whatever the case may be. And he thought he was going to be slick. And he thought he was going to be able to stop whatever was going on in his life. And he took 3 children out, and he thought he was going to get away with it if he just buried or hid their bodies well enough. And he was able to accomplish that. Nobody has been able to find any of the 3 boys, any evidence of the 3 boys' even existence. It is scary. It is scary. But they have finally charged him with those counts. Lady came forward and said that they see his white van at the St. Joe's River. Wow. And you know what? Steffers, that very well may be right, you know. By the way, it's good to see you. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. If you guys don't know Steffers, she's the one that coined the coffee beans, okay? She's been around for a long time. And I know a lot of people don't see her very much, but we've been having some issues with, shadow banning and stuff like that. And we've been under attack. You know, it seems like every time around the Christmas holidays, evil tries to attack this channel, but we keep moving forward. Yeah, which reminds us, Jenny, thank you. Don't forget to hit that like button on your way in or your way out this morning. That would be wonderful. And we're about to get started on the Summer Wells case. This is a case that rocked, Tennessee, Eastern Tennessee. And this case was very bizarre at the beginning. I don't think anybody, it was very hard to believe the parents at the beginning of this case. Even, usually we even try to, not much. I just do, I try to pop and all. Well, that's sweet. That's sweet. I appreciate it. This, on June 15th, 2021, in the late afternoon, I think it was around 6:30 when she finally called law enforcement? I mean, it was ridiculously late because I'm pretty sure that they dropped Hunter off around 2:30. They got back to the house around 4 or 4:30. We may have to go back to the timeline. We got the timeline pulled up. As a matter of fact, let me just go ahead and just read you my intro. Good morning, everybody. I'm Bullhorn Betty, and today we're talking about the case that weighs heavily on the hearts of mine as well as millions around the country and this world. This was a worldwide case, folks. The disappearance of 5-year-old Summer Wells from Hawkins County, Tennessee. It's been more than 4 years since Summer vanished on June 15, 2021, and while speculation has run wild, while fingers have been pointed, while this little girl's name has echoed throughout the true crime community, we are once again seeing renewed activity from law enforcement. Recently, TBI, the FBI, and Hawkins County Sheriff returned to conduct new searches, new ground searches that have reignited hope for answers in this heartbreaking case. You guys have to remember, Summer was here one moment and gone the next, okay? We had the Department of Children and Family Services, and I'm not laughing because I think it's funny. I'm laughing out of frustration. Literally, the Department of Children and Family Services over to the house the day before. Literally 24 hours. About 20 to 24 hours after they left is when Summer Wells was reported missing. It was just that quick. It is crazy. It is crazy. And it caused, quite frankly, it was enraging. So let's rewind for a moment. Summer Moon Utah Wells was reported missing around 6:30 p.m. Okay, so that was 2 hours. I want to tell you that she came in, and if you listen to the timeline from her mother is not away from her for 2 hours. Okay, she's just not. But Summer Moon Utah Wells was reported around 6:30 p.m. Now, mind you, Don Wells has never worked that late. Okay, Don Wells has never worked until 6:30 at night. Now, he's gotten up and went to do houses while he was under the influence of meth, right? And that meth would send him to work in the middle of the night, and he'd work it all the way through until morning. Now, that's a lot different than 6:30 at night. He does not work this late at night, ever. Okay, do you guys understand that? So for him not to be home is bull. I don't believe it. He's usually leaving the job between 3:30 and 4:30 every single day. There is no reason why he would not have been home by 6:30, and for him to wait until law enforcement was there and then to pull up in a car down at the bottom of the mountain to look like he had just got there. That's nonsense. That's not true. It's not legitimate. If you look at his history, he's never, and I mean never, worked that late. Thank you, Gwen. Gwen just gifted a five Bullhorn Betty memberships to the Bullhorn Betty channel for those beautiful 5 people that just received your coveted Bullhorn Betty membership. Welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club. I.e. the insane asylum. your straitjacket and your padded room, and welcome aboard, folks. Welcome aboard. It looks like Steffer's got it. Kathy, Kat, XD. It's nice to see you. Who else? Lisa Marie. Well, welcome, guys. Welcome. It's official. You're part of this crazy family. What do you want, Miss Delilah? We're still working. We're still working. Go lay down. Go lay down. You're good. Aw, thank you. Why is it not dinging? You guys don't hear I don't hear the dinging. Do you guys hear the dinging? I certainly do not hear the dinging. Let's find out why we do not hear the dinging. Where is our major? There's our... Oh, no, that's not it. Why am I not having... Where's my... I got my control panel, advanced audio properties. Here we go. Live chat off. Okay, gift chat. There we go. All right, guys. Sorry, it wasn't dinging. It wasn't dinging on my end. It wasn't dinging. So I'm going to try to add... Yeah, I think I'm going to try to add the screen share. Give me, guys. I got to try to add the screen share for... there we go. For our vertical mode. Give me just a second. I don't know who's watching the vertical mode. Somebody's watching it because it's set up. It's either being streamed on Twitch or it's being streamed on YouTube. I don't know which. Okay, folks, I'm so sorry. I'm a horrible content creator. I don't know what the hell I'm doing over here. So bear with me. Bear with me. I got to get this up. Just bear with me. I will get us going. Oops, wrong way. Uh-oh. I didn't mean to do that. And if somebody does see me, send me an email to bullhornbetty@gmail.com. If you see my video vertical, let me know where it's airing vertical. I can't believe I'm saying that. I don't know where I'm being streamed at. It's driving me nuts. Okay, folks, it's driving me nuts. I have to be honest with you. It's driving me nuts. Oh, but I see it's ticking. I see it's ticking somewhere. I see it's ticking. There's good old boy right there. Let's get good old boy up. Okay. Let's get good old boy up. Okay, we got Nick. All right, so let me get this thing done. This is for our screen capture. This is for our summer wells. Hold on. Let me get this a little bit better for you guys. Kind of neat. We're having to work on two screens. The vertical screen, though, is like so tiny I cannot see what the hell I'm doing. I really can't. It's literally ridiculously tiny. Okay, there we go. I think we can work with this. Yeah, kind of, sort of. Okay. There we go. There we go. We'll put them up there. There we go. We'll just kind of yeah, there we go. See what he has to say. Okay. Sonia, BHB is vertical here. Am I vertical here too? So I am on YouTube? Am I vertical on YouTube? You're small, love. YouTube airs both views now. Okay, so I know, but not horizontal on YouTube. You are vertical on YouTube for me. Okay. All right, guys. So it looks like some of the stuff may be coming in vertical. Some of the stuff may not. So at least I know I am streaming. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't know what the hell I was doing this morning. I'm just trying. You can't hate me for being beautiful. Okay? I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that. Where the hell am I going to put my damn... My audio mixer doesn't want to... Maybe I can put it here? Ooh. Can I put another? Oh, there we go. Oh, that'd be perfect. Look at that. Love that stuff right there. Now I just got to modify this. Good gracious. Okay. I think I'm back. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and put my my screen up so everybody's now official. You guys can see what everybody else is seeing. So I got both cases running right now. Oh, good gracious. This is going to be so difficult. to be a learning curve from you know what. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What am I doing? What is Betty doing? I don't know what Betty's doing. Okay. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Okay, for those that are, I see Jonathan. I know. I'm sorry, guys. He was part of the case, okay? I'm sorry. He was part of the case. There's nothing I can do, okay? So if you guys are on the vertical mode, if you guys are on the landscape mode, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. We're going to have to watch Jonathan, okay? He was a part of the case, okay? There's nothing I can do, okay? The guy, he hurt Betty, okay? What can I say? He hurt Betty, but we still have to put up with his shit, okay? Until Summer Wells' case is solved and the rest of the cases that I've worked with him on are done and over with, we're going to have to deal with his, cheating, lying, good for nothing. But, okay, there's nothing I can do about it, okay? He just is what it, I know. I get it. I get we can see you again. Okay, so you must be on vertical as well. Okay, well, I love it. Perfect. All right, let's get going. We got a lot of stuff to go over here, okay? Let me get back to my outro here. So Summer Moon Utah Wells was reported at 6:30 p.m. from her home on Ben Hill Road. According to the family, Summer was last seen outside near her grandmother's trailer. Within minutes, she was gone. Now, I also want to tell you that they brought up the dog trail. The dog trail's right next to Grandma's door, okay? Or they're close to it. And for somebody to be kidnapping a child and running down a dog trail, going right by the door where two adults are, and again, mind you, 21 dogs on top of that mountain, loud, barking, when a leaf moves, dog, okay? Nobody's getting on that property to steal a kid. They're just not. So a statewide Amber Alert was issued. Law enforcement arrived within minutes, they say, but I'm pretty sure it was within 30 minutes. Search teams were deployed by the hundreds, but from the very beginning, the terrain worked against rescuers, dense woods, steep ravines, deep wells, heavy brush, the same stuff we hear in a lot of the cases, including Jack and Lily Sullivan from Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia, Canada. This is some of the toughest ground searches in the state of Tennessee. And mind you, Hawkins County is a very poor and desolate area as well. Over the next days and weeks, thousands of hours were poured into the search. TBI used aerial surveillance, sent dogs, dive teams, thermal imaging, grid search, and I even think that they may have pulled some satellite imagery as well, from like NASA. And I'm starting to think that we need to start leaning on these worldwide photograph type of satellites we have up there, because that can tell us if things have been moved, if ground, and they take photos regularly, and we never know what we're looking for until we need to look for it. But it sounds like there's a way to get that stuff as well, guys. So I just want to put that out there. At one point, it became the most extensive search operation in Tennessee history, and I still think that this one was more extensive than Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Despite all of that, no confirmed sighting of Summers was found. Law enforcement has repeatedly stated no one has been cleared. Same thing that we've been hearing in Sebastian Rogers' case. No one has been ruled out. The same thing we've been hearing in Sebastian Rogers' case. And the case remains active and ongoing. The same thing we hear in Sebastian Rogers' case. There were rumors, drama, social media wars, but little factual movement the public could point to. We've been sitting here waiting for years just for a little bit. Just a small movement in this case. And now that we hear, written in stars, it's nice to see you, Crystal Pistol. Hello, my loves. And it's just now, again, with this renewed searching, we finally get a semblance of hope that this case might be solved. And then we hear about Fred Hill. Now, mind you, I told you guys this before. Fred Hill, his family are generationals out there, okay? It's like the Albritons, the Whitakers in Manatee County. We have statutes for Whitaker Park, Whitaker Beach. Those are people that are generational beings here. They're part of my family, as a matter of fact. We also have a different family generational here. You know, the Parrish family, the Albritton family. We have a lot of generationals here, and the reason why I'm bringing this up, change superstar. It's nice to see you. I hope and think she's alive. I pray she is, but at this point, there's, in my mind, because we've been doing this for so long, there's no possibility. Otherwise, there would have been a sighting. Otherwise, there would have been something. I mean, she's a very noticeable, but ordinary girl, which should have even brought in more leads and sightings, no? And we got none. So tap the screen. Oh, thank you, Sonia, for reminding us. Sonia finally arrived. No, I'm just... I love doing that. I love doing that. Good morning, Sonia. It's nice to see you. Vicky, good morning. Never give up. It's nice to see you. So I hope she is, but I know in my heart she's not. You know, it's one of those things where I saw her on those milk jugs. And those milk jugs, I mean, I think I might even have a photo. I'll move over the photos here in just a second and see if we can find the photo. I'm pretty sure I have a photo of her on the milk jugs, so we'll get to that. But that was very disheartening for me because, you know, I'm the old man that saw something. Okay, gotcha. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. But we're going to fast forward now. You know, we're going to go over the information. This has brought a wave of renewed hope across the country. People have followed the Summer Wells case, feel like for the first time in a long time, there might be some, you know, forward motion again, you know, that this case is finally, you know, picking up a little steam. We're finally hopeful. Like we've given up hope. We're like, you know, screw Hawkins County. They're never going to put these people behind bars, you know, but this right here and being so close within that 10-mile radius. I mean, this is really positive in my opinion, but it's also leaning that this child's not alive as well. But TBI has not told us what sparked the new activity. We still don't know. They never brought that stuff up, and they rarely do. But searchers do not just happen. You know, new searches don't just happen unless something significant has come forward. That could be by way of a new tip. New information surfacing, you know, maybe somebody took a second look. You know, we're always going back. We're going to be going back to the beginning of this case and reviewing everything and seeing if there's something that we may have missed. And we know we have, because even in the Sebastian Rogers case, we went over that case three different times from front to back. And every time we do that, we pick up something new we did not catch on to before. And I have to believe that would still apply here to the Summer Wells case as well. There's environmental conditions that have changed, you know, and sometimes that does help because, for example, many people don't know, but if you bury a body in the ground and it's next to, say, a tree, you would think that tree would probably use that biological material to help grow. Well, in many cases, it kills the tree. So you can actually start identifying areas by things maybe dying in some part. But there are some environmental conditions that have changed in areas that no longer look the same or may have, you know, we've had a lot of floods, 1,000-year floods that we were dealing with over this last year. I believe that was manipulated by some form of government. I know it sounds crazy, but, you know, I'm sorry, but this world is crazy. There's a lot of things we don't know that are true, and it's pretty sick, but that's another conversation for another day. But, you know, we have floods and, you know, those can change conditions, right? Those can knock down trees. Those can shift land, right? We saw in North Carolina where a mountain, literally a half of a mountain just came apart because of so much water that it literally, the whole entire mountain just slid down. One of the people described it as the most unbelievable sight he had ever seen. An old man that Olivia had interviewed, and he just said the whole mountain just basically slid. Crazy stuff. So we have environmental changes. Investigators are revisiting key locations with, new technology and new tools and, being able to get maybe a better lay of the land. So when we start going into this case, and we're going to drive into, you guys see Jonathan Lee Riches up on my page. He has something to say early on. We're going to go back through some short videos that we did on this case and kind of get us back to, because we were out there 6 months after this happened, and we did extensive and intensive ground searches and interviews of a lot of different people. Any person that was brought up in this case, we tracked down. And we basically shoved cameras and microphones in their faces and interrogated them right then and there. And we've got a lot of that on our, I've got a lot of that here in my possession that we're going to be going over the next, weeks and months as we start reinvigorating the Summer Wells case as well as the Sebastian Rogers case. So now we're going to be talking about something important. For years, the public has speculated heavily about Summer's parents and the household. Some believe they know more. Some believe foul play occurred. Others believe she wandered away. I don't believe she wandered away because that would imply that she would be found. I can tell you that 100% of the kids in Tennessee that have wandered away, that have truly wandered away, have either been found and returned to their parents, or they've been found deceased. Okay, but they've been found, because when you're missing, if you succumb to the surroundings, you're dropping right there. You're going to be on top of the ground. You're not going to be buried under the ground. You're not going to be shoved in a well or a septic tank or God knows what else. You're going to be right there. Wherever you drop is where you're going to be. You will be eventually found. There's been extensive searches for Summer Wells. And no scent, no sighting. I mean, this is once again, much like Sebastian Rogers' house, the only scent is in his house. Anything outside of his house, there's no scent. There's no proof that she wandered off. She did not wander off. The evidence proves in my mind that she was taken from the property. And the only person moving around that property was Candace Bly. And I believe Don Wells, because like I said, 6:30, Don Wells is acting like he's just pulling up to work. Are pulling up to his house when we know he's never worked that late in his life. He is always home. Home by 4:30. Home. Sitting in his recliner, either with a glass pipe or a bottle in his hand. It doesn't matter which one. It's one or the other. Okay? 4 o'clock. 4:30 the latest. Every single day. If he wants to work or he pissed off work that day, he will get all gaitered up and he'll go in the middle of the night and work through the night when nobody is there. So that's his MO, okay? That is Don Wells. So I don't believe she wandered off, but, that's just my opinion. But here's the truth. Law enforcement has never publicly stated what they believed happened. They've never even indicated. They've indicated that they don't believe the animalistic scream. They've indicated that the information doesn't make sense, but they've never really stated what they believe may have happened to the young girl. They have never named a suspect. They have never revealed evidence pointing to an abductor, an accident, or a crime. And since leaves, and that silent leaves a giant hole, a huge hole, that speculation rushes to fill. And that's kind of where we are. I don't like, I like speculating to help find us, avenues to go down for evidence and lead, trying to find people that might have information. But, I don't use speculation in lieu of fact. Today we need to focus on these facts, not assumptions, because Summer does deserve it. And again, there has been some renewed invigoration in this case. There's no question the family's public behavior, interviews, statements, lifestyle are sparking and are what has sparked this scrutiny. Many viewers felt something was off, but behavior is not evidence. And it could be. I mean, they could use it as circumstantial in conjunction with other things, but I don't think their behavior alone is evidence. But I do believe it's evidence. And law enforcement has played their cards close to their vest, which I don't know how I feel about that statement. But we can analyze and question, and we can advocate, but we do not convict people on our feelings alone. Just because we are an emotional people, we feel it may happen, doesn't necessarily mean it happened just like that. I will never change my mind about mommy and daddy until new information comes to light. So what can we do? We can keep Summer's face alive. We can keep her name in the public eye. And if someone knows something, no matter how small, they can call or reach out to 1-800-TBI-FIND. I hope not, I hope it's not foolish, and, and I hope that we're not going to be naive or anything like that. And I hope that we can find Summer Wells and bring her home, along with all the other kids that are missing right now. Summer is more than a headline. She's a child who deserves answers and justice and truth. At the end of the day, we stand with her. We stand with investigators who continue to search, and we stand with everyone praying for resolution. So that's kind of the opening into this. Let's see what Jonathan Lee Riches has to say. If you guys are with us here on the vertical mode, thank you. I'm running new equipment or new plugins on my live stream. And so this has been kind of a little crazy for me. I didn't know what I was doing this morning. So I'm trying my absolute best to get you guys what you need and try to have this visually pleasing. So once I go back, maybe I'll be able to review it and see how I could have done it better. But I kind of feel like a little fish out of the water, but the only way I can test this stuff is in the public eye. Okay. So I apologize, but this is literally the only way I can test my equipment and my plugins and everything is just to go live. So here's Jonathan. I can't remember what this one was about, but it's about something. Oh, poop. I didn't mean to do that. Where was I? Or here. Okay, let's close out this.
From the Globe and Mail.
Close group. Okay, sorry about that.
Something about where Summer is will give you leniency. And it's interesting that they caught him for a DUI. Were they tailing him to catch him do these acts? Do you understand? So, I still think I still believe and trust that they are doing their job.
Sorry, guys.
It's just they have to do it meticulously, and I think, a lot of evidence and investigations take time. Unfortunately, they take time. I do think that the law enforcement realizes that Summer's probably dead. So they have time on their hands, and they have tabs on them. I believe they have tabs on them. And I believe, like we said in the sheriff's office, I think they watch their social medias and watch them and keep catching them slip up in statements and inconsistent things they say on these podcasts.
Yeah, but when's enough information? You've had 6 months of this. People want justice for Summer Wells. People want justice for Summer Wells, and to me, I would think that the podcast alone would give them enough inconsistencies in their statement to drag their butts into
all right, Betty, be
their office
professional
and interrogate them.
So in crimes, a lot of times you want justice for victims, right? But the people don't really have a say. It's really the families that want the justice, and the families, the police and the prosecutor work for the families. When you have possibly two parents involved in their own child, and you don't have other family members demanding the police to do something, but just the public, the police, in a sense, they have to do their job, but it's just the public. Who is the public? It's not it's not their interest. It's not their business. But yes, they still have to solve it, but there might not be the sense of urgency.
Do you think it would behoove us to start taking their original statements and start showing the inconsistencies and sending those inconsistencies to law enforcement?
Oh, absolutely. Citizens like us, citizens online, online sleuths have to compile evidence and just...
I'm not sure, in all fairness, we did this out the yin yang for Katie Proudfoot. I mean, they were so glaring from literally one statement to the next, just how horrible the statement was from Katie Proudfoot, how inconsistent from one interview to another interview, what we're dealing with here. And I've got to be honest with you. I'm not sure if we've laid out all their inconsistencies like we have for the Sebastian Rogers case. That might be something we need to do. We need to go back to all of their interviews and start notating that. If somebody did that and I was just unaware of it, send that to me to bullhornbetty@gmail.com. There might be somebody that has the, timeline, the Excel spreadsheet, the Google Doc. And you know what? Sleuthy Goosey, she used to do a lot of that. I wonder if she did that back in the day, and because I wasn't familiar with her back when I first got on, because you got to remember, when we were first here with Gabby Petito. That was basically our first case, and that was because Jonathan and I were heavily involved in our politics, and a family member of, it wasn't the mom or the stepmother, it was the cousin of the stepmom that reached out to us, Stephanie. She reached out to Jonathan to have him go out and sit in front of the house and try to, give them information back on, what was going on with Gabby, because they were on the East Coast of Florida. And so we went out there and we were just basically out there reporting. But by the time we got out there, Brian Laundrie had just disappeared. Nobody knew where he was. So it was kind of organic. We never anticipated being out there to do anything but report information back to the family. And when we got out there, I think our frustration in the fact that he was able to flee got the best of us. And so all of our activism that we were accustomed to doing with politics, which is basically protesting, making signs and getting bullhorns and, protesting, letting people hear our frustration. And I think it was just an organic thing, because it's just who we are as people, or at least at that time, that's just who we were as people at that time. And so that kind of is what we just did what we could. We applied pressure to politicians by that way. And we figured, what the hell? We got a situation where a guy's missing, his girlfriend's been missing, and he might have some answers. So that's where it was. So this really was our second case. We didn't really have all this wherewithal that we do now. And now that we have it, we kind of know that something's fishy here. And we know now that we need to be comparing these statements. But did we do it back then? And I don't know. Hey, Chillbilly, it's nice to see you, my love. The statements they made to officials are the only ones that hold weight. They do not have to tell us anything, much less the truth. With that said, they have lied to all of us, some of us to our face. Yeah, exactly. So that is kind of where we are, and we're going to have to deal with that. That's why it's so important that we do our own investigation and why we popped up. We've got, when it comes to Summer Wells, we have probably the most extensive interview list of people associated with the case. We even went over to that crackpot media guy's house, and he had his living with his mom. He's 50 freaking years old and living with his mom. It's bothersome. No, he's not taking care of his mother. He's living with her. Does he work? Yes, he does. But he's under mommy's roof. Okay? And it's like, and he leaves his mommy, and his mommy comes to the sweet little lady, just sweet little darling lady. But I just still can't. I still can't. Bless her little heart. I don't know what was going on. And, some of the stuff that I was angry with back then were things that people were causing me to be angry with these people. Do these people really have any involvement with this case, or were they truly trying to help? And it was just, the hate channel's way of turning us against good people. That's their specialty, by the way, turning good people against good people. And that's, they get in and infiltrate their minds and tell them that this stuff is bad, blah, 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 blah. And really, it's only them being nasty and spreading around hate and violence. So, is it something like that? I don't know. Let's keep listening.
Keep catching them slip. Keep catching them.
And not just go on their YouTube channels, but literally take that information and start passing it off to law enforcement.
Correct. Anything and everything you see them doing, just keep, passing over the
Did we do that?
to law enforcement.
I don't know.
Their tracks and their movements and what they're doing and their behaviors, because obviously they're involved some way, somehow.
So, That's one. Let's get this one out. And that's one. And then we got, let's see what I had to say. So my set, so let's see what this one is. This is, if it comes up, it's taking a little time. Okay, click, 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 click. It says, I think we watched this. But we should watch it again. We're going to watch it again. These are my thoughts after seeing the possibility of when we got out to the property.
So we're here in front of Don Wells's home.
Okay, let me get this adjusted. It's not adjusted. Okay, we have to adjust this way up here. Okay. Let me adjust this one too. It's funny how all these things kind of have their own little thing. Probably should. I kind of see where I can improve some things, and I know it's coming down to this right here. You know, this thing here. I'm gonna put it up on the big screen for even the social. You know, the ones on the vertical can see the whole thing. If you're on landscape, you'll see my face, but if you're vertical, you should just see the image.
So we're here in front of Don Wells's home on top of a hill. And, now that we get it, we always get new information when we come out and make a personal appearance. And what was described in media and on social media is always much different than what we experience here when we're here in person. And this is, again, no different. As we are here, their house is on top of a mountain. And as we know, Mom was not, she admitted to law enforcement that she was not watching the children at the time Summer Wells disappeared. We stayed on public property, and we have reviewed the area, and we saw, kids' equipment kind of tumbled down the mountain. And bikes, girls, little scooters, and not manual scooters. One's just with wheels on it, not with engines or anything like that, or battery operated. And they were turned over when I got footage of that. There's no way that somebody is going to come off this road, climb up a mountain through all the leaves and sticks and everything like that makes a whole bunch of noise when you're trying to sneak on somebody's property. Go up there, past dogs, past 3 boys, past Mom, past Grandma, and search and know exactly where a 5-year-old girl is in this property. There's just the idea that this story makes any sense is ludicrous. And then snatch the child, go back through the boys, go back through the dogs, go back down the hills through all the crunchy branches and leaves, and pack the child up in a vehicle and take off. Nope. There is literally no possibility. None. The idea that this child was abducted, now that I have seen this property, is a farce. What I can tell you is maybe Candace didn't injure the child, but something happened. The child was unattended, may have came out of the house, may have been playing on their trike or their bike or the little push thing and pushed herself right off the mountain. Fell, hurt herself. We did hear that there was a scream earlier in the day. Maybe when Mom realized that she hadn't seen the kids in a while, decided to go and check on them, realized that Candace was deceased, and freaked out and
Not
did
Candace,
something with her body
Summer,
because she
obviously.
wasn't watching her child. She wasn't making sure her child was safe.
And this is only
and then
coming
we can
in
go to the
landscape.
opposite end of the spectrum, where she injured her child.
I just checked, and we have only a landscaped version of this show. I just checked again. I don't know where it's going. I just checked Twitch, and it doesn't look like it's going to Twitch either. So I don't know where the hell this is ultimately going to be put. I guess we'll find out at the end of all of this. I don't know. I'm going to have to work on the settings, and we'll probably have to do another test and see if I'm going vertical and landscape on social media. So I'm gonna leave it be for the time being.
And the child met their demise that way. At the end of the day, you know, when I came out here, I had this opinion that Candace was key. Being out here in person only solidifies the fact that I truly believe Candace is key in this whole entire thing. This is up a mountain, a very steep mountain, through a creek, through all these crunchy, listen.
At the time it was summer though, but still.
Look at all the branches. Are you going to say that you're going to get across all this without making a noise, a sound? Then you have dogs to boot. You got 3 kids. You don't know where Summer is actually located in the home.
It's a woman.
So.
Oh, and there was a woman that came and waved us down.
Are you cool? Alright, so we contacted the police. We do boots on the ground kind of stuff. And we're trying to find Summer Wells. And we were at town hall, went to the sheriff's office, spoke to 3 sheriffs, a detective, and we're just scoping out the place just to see the terrain and how it's possible that someone could kind of come from here up there and snatch it. You know what I'm saying?
So,
I think so.
are you
So,
a neighbor?
She said,
God bless you. How do you feel about
she
what's
said
going on?
bullshit.
Oh, sorry, guys.
I'm not gonna film you.
No. Yeah.
I'm not gonna,
Have you
don't, no filming.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, we got the phones
No
off.
filming.
Okay.
No filming. We come in peace. We want to help. We're
Yeah.
genuine, nice people. We're not like crazy media or
No.
anything. We're just
I'm
normal
not,
people
nothing.
that want to help. So.
What do you want to see?
You see.
Yeah, there's no way.
Surprised.
There's no way.
It's a hill. It's a
Let it
hill.
go. Let it go.
Yeah, there, you can look and see. There's no way.
But do you think that it's possible that, you know, we know that Candace was not watching the children. You know, the boys were watching Summer. Do you think it's possible Summer may have came out and played and went off that mountain and injured herself?
Somebody would have found it.
Well, I'm sure Mom found her and freaked out and realized she wasn't watching her. No? Are they violent? Do you know if they're violent?
Well, I live right here on top of the hill, and sound travels very good. I'm going to leave it at that.
All right.
They're not nice.
Gotcha. They're not nice people at all.
Every time you find
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
it. Do not.
Yeah.
If you got me, you better delete.
Yeah, no. We're here to really help, and
Because the TBI, nobody has come up here and asked me nothing.
no shit.
Nothing.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, God bless you. Thank you for taking some time to speak with us. We appreciate it. Yeah, we're very careful. We've notified the law enforcement we'd be out here doing this.
He's crazy, and
She's crazy too.
All right.
Yeah, gotcha. TBI has.
Can I give a suggestion? Awesome.
I didn't mean to. Had no idea that we had the whole thing on there, but yeah. So the suggestion here was basically, please don't tell people we won't record them. We're on public property. We don't tell people we won't record them. When we're on public property, we utilize the laws that are provided to us on that public property. And one of those laws are, we have the ability to record. And as long as we're on public property, and we can, no matter, people are like, you can't record. We can record children. We can record anything. We can record dogs effing if we wanted to, and on the sidewalk. If it's on a public property and public roadway, you have a window wide open and you're screwing your married neighbor. Somebody that's sitting on the sidewalk is absolutely allowed to take a camera and put in that window and record everything that you're doing. Okay? So that is just a little tidbit, a little food for thought, a little bit of the rules of the road when it comes to these type of things. But as you could see at this time, the neighbors, they weren't even contacted. The neighbors weren't even contacted. Let me go ahead and move this back to, oops. Take this off for a second. There we go. I don't know where this is being recorded at, but either way, I'm still keeping my vertical stuff going. I don't know how I'm doing this. I just don't know how. Anyways, we've got Vinnie Politan here. We got a little bit of a video on him. This was from a long time ago as well, right? This is one of his closing arguments segments that he was doing. If you guys know anything about me, I'm absolutely a major fan of Vinnie Politan. He is absolutely Bullhorn Betty. I'm one of his number one fans. Okay, I won't lie. I get what's the word that they say that you do? I can't remember the name of it. Anyways, I forget what they call it. You know, when you see a star, you get googie goggy, when a star. Yeah, anyways, never mind. I'll think of it. It's not a big deal. Okay, let me put this back up here for the folks at home. It is Vinnie Politan. I gotta fix one more thing. All right, so we're gonna get Vinnie Politan going here.
We're going to begin in Tennessee, Hawkins County, Tennessee. 5-year-old girl, take a look at her picture. Her name is Summer Wells. We've been covering this one for a while. She was last seen June 15th of this year, June 15th. Massive search efforts. Members of that community, unbelievable. I haven't seen a reaction like this since years ago down in Orlando, Florida. Folks are concerned. Folks want to find this little angel. But she's been missing since June 15th. Her mother, Candace Wells, spoke to WJHL. They shared the interview with us, explained what happened the moment, the day that Summer Wells was last seen and when she went missing. Listen closely.
Me and my mother and her were planting flowers, and we went in after we got done washing our hands, and she got a piece of candy from Grandma, and she wanted to go back over and see her brothers, and I said okay, and I walked her all the way over to the porch, and I watched her walk into the kitchen where the boys were watching TV, and I told the boys, I said, watch Summer, I'll be back. And within 2 minutes, I came back, and I asked the boys where their sister was, and
hey, BMW Coupe.
She went downstairs, Mom, to play with her toys in the playroom. I said, okay. And I yelled downstairs for her a couple times, and I didn't get no answer, which was unusual.
Hey, Claudia.
Usually she always answers me. And so I went down there to check, and she was
sounds like a crush. No, not like that.
She was just gone.
All right, a couple things, right? So she walks into the house, goes into the kitchen. The boys say she goes downstairs to the playroom, and then Mom comes back in 2 minutes. Now, she might be estimating it. She might not be exactly right, but comes back very quickly, and she's gone. I mean, it happened that fast, according to Candace Wells, Summer's mom. So let's go back to the scene. I want to show you a photo first. This is a photo of the house. Let's take a close look at this, because when I first heard this story, and if we could drop the letters on the bottom so we get a clearer look at everything. You look at the house here, and I looked at the house, and when I first heard that she went downstairs, I was wondering, is there a door? Is it a walkout basement? But as you can see from the cinder blocks, it's not deep enough. There is no door. There are some windows on the bottom, but the back door, that's the back door. So if she goes in the front and Mom is hanging out around the front or somewhere out there, and she exits the home, it would have to be through that door, because in this shot you can see it almost looks like there's doors over there on the basement, but it's not. Those are windows. So the only door is over there, which looks like the back door. Let me bring in our special guest joining us as we take a look at these pictures and think about what happened here. Joseph Scott Morgan is with us, professor of forensics at Jacksonville State University, former senior investigator for the Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office and forensics media analyst. Also joining us in Chicago, Illinois, private investigator Erica Morse. Great to see you both. Joseph Scott Morgan, I'm going to start with you with the picture. Let's put the picture back up of the home. As you look at that home, if in fact she goes in there, it seems to me she'd have to exit out that back door. And
what's going on? There we go. It wasn't letting me pause it. That was really weird. Okay, guys. So let me get up here. Share screen. Let me put my green screen back on. I didn't realize I was still off here. So we're hearing, all of this stuff going on. Those few mornings, that little bit early that day, about what happened, what was being said happened to Summer Wells. Summer Wells was, out with her mother that day. Everybody wondered where the boys were. The boys were with their father at work, and that's been a point of contention. The people at work said the boys were with their father that day. So it made sense, because why would a mother go off with her daughter and leave her 3 boys at home alone with no phone? No way in case of an emergency to call anybody. And how in the world would they be able to notify their father that there's some creeping around the house wanting to touch kids, allegedly, right? That's what was said. We don't know that to be true. That's actually considered the front door. I know. This place is such a dump. It is a dump. It seems like they were supposed to live upstairs, but because upstairs was so disgusting and it looks like a lot of drywall and everything's been ripped out, they decided to make up shop in the basement as their rooms, probably because they're always so paranoid from all the substances they're on, and they like to cover up their windows and be in the basement. So if anybody came in, they would know. I don't know. They're weird people. They're just weird. I don't know. Guys, I've been getting notifications that the stream is shaky and buffering. Did we have any buffering with the stream so far today? I'm hoping that's just on, a notification on the vertical, because I'm pretty sure I don't have the vertical set up right. But I stay so late at work if you have the boys with you. Yeah. But the problem is the boys were home. And how would the father, if the boys were home and mommy wasn't there, grandma wasn't there, and they were home watching TV with no phone. Now, mind you, they have no phone. Candace has a phone. Grandis has a phone. Don has a phone. No phone. How in the world would they ever be able to call Don to tell him that there is a guy roaming around the house? That doesn't make any sense, does it? It doesn't make sense to me, because they didn't have a phone. No, we're good. Okay, good. All right, just checking. Maybe it's on the vertical. I don't think I have it set up right. I'll have to figure it all out later. I'm not with it right now. I'm not going to be with it right now. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So we'll vertical camera. No, we do not want the vertical virtual camera. We'll get it all set up. We'll get it figured out. I'll get it figured out on the next show. So... yeah, shaky during video of Vinny. It was shaky during the video of Vinny. Well, I think it was because I was modifying it. But
she's got to be gone, like not in the yard. She's got to be in the woods somewhere.
Yeah, it all depends on points of entry in this dwelling. If that is a single point of entry, and the one that the mother would suspect that she would have to exit from, you can see the large wooded area to the rear. So my thought is this, Vin, one of the things that I'm kind of toying with, was there somebody that potentially had gained access to the interior of the house that may perhaps have been lying in wait for this little girl,
that
had access to her, that had identified her, maybe over a protracted period of time, maybe they were watching.
The only person that could have been possibly in that house would have been Don Wells. Nobody in their right mind would go up to that house. Those people are crazy, okay? If you talk to their neighbors, just during Vinny, okay, thank you, Melissa. If you talk to their neighbors, you will know, even the neighbors know that these people are crazy. These people are crazy. These people are crazy. These people are crazy. They're not going, people in the community are not going to go up on these people. These people will do damage to you. Candace will hurt you, okay? She will go up to a grown-ass man, okay? Understand who you're dealing with here. Understand who you're dealing with here. These are not, I don't see, I just don't.
For through the woods, just to see if they had an opportunity. And once maybe perhaps they made entrance into the house, they could have snatched her at that point, or they could have waited until she exited. I think one of the keys here is observance and collection of any kind of physical evidence within that dwelling that cannot be associated with anyone or tied back to anyone that is domiciled there. Any kind of stranger DNA that might be in there, say for instance, touch DNA that has been left behind. Of course, that would mean that the scene would have had to have been secured and that they could have tested for it at that moment in time.
And I don't know if they did all that. In all fairness, I really don't know what they've done. Okay? We know that the trucks never left. Like, those trucks should have been immediately secured and tested. They were there weeks. I can tell you, strong investigative work is not the strong suit of Tennessee. The stuff that they do makes no logical sense to me. I will be honest with you. We do things very strategically in the state of Florida. And then one of the first things that we do is secure the home, get a warrant for the home, do all the forensic testings up front. We don't wait months or years to start doing forensic testing. And if the state of Tennessee is too stupid to get it together and understand their job, I don't know what to do with them. But it seems all too many times that the forensics, the most important part of the case, is always done so late in the case in Tennessee. Tennessee does not know what the hell they're doing. I don't know how Tennessee TBI is being trained. I don't know how law enforcement is being trained. I don't know how their detectives are being trained. I just know whatever training they're getting is not working. I know that. That's what I know. I know whatever training law enforcement is getting in the state of Tennessee is not right. They're arresting people that have never committed crimes. They're arresting people that have not committed DUIs on DUIs. There is something terribly wrong in the state of Tennessee, and it's all too widespread for me to say it's just a location that's the problem, as opposed to the entire state. It is the entire state problem. Entire state, folks.
Erica, your thoughts about the initial part of the story, that within 2 minutes, she's out of that house.
Hey, Pale Rider.
It seems to me she would have had to have gone out the back door, because I think if she went out the front door, someone would have seen her. So if she snuck out the back and was an adventurous 5-year-old, she had to make a beeline for the wooded area.
Going right past Mommy's house, Grandma's house, you know? This doesn't make sense. That dog trail is near the door of Grandis's trailer, where allegedly Grandis and Candace were both in, allegedly. I don't believe it, because I believe Summer was dead on arrival, okay? I believe she was dying when she was on the cartons of milk. I think that she was being left on the cartons of milk because they were concerned that something more would happen. They didn't know what to do. And I think she was rushing home to give the child to Dawn so Dawn could do something about it. Dawn would never come home from work at 6:30 at night. That is entirely too late for Dawn to be coming home, okay? I'm going to tell you that. That's one thing I know about Don Wells. He either works in the middle of the night through morning, or he works during normal hours and he's home by 4. Okay? It's one or the other. You don't get a whole lot with Don Wells. He's either on drugs or substances that day, or he's not. And that depends on when he works. If he's on substances, he's going to work in the middle of the night and sleep during the day. If he's not, he's going to work during the day and sleep at night. You guys see how that works? That's Don Wells, okay? So, with this being said, there's no possibility of that man pulling up at 6:30 at night. He would have been there at 4. What time did they arrive back home? 4:30. He was there, folks. Don Wells was at that property. There's not a doubt in my mind that he was there. He was there when they got home. He was there. If the boys were there, Don Wells was there.
Correct. And I think if she had left on her own, I think she would have been found by now. There would have been some indication of that.
Told you.
Remember, they are still looking for a Toyota Tacoma in regards to this situation. So this really does feel planned to me in some way or another. The property itself is very...
And I want you guys to understand this planning aspect, okay? I want you guys to understand this planning aspect very, very clear, okay? Don Wells and Candace were visited by the Department of Children and Family Services the day before. An investigator went and pulled Summer Wells to the side and spoke to her for about 5 to 10 minutes all by herself. Don was watching her speaking to the investigator, but he could not hear what she says because there was a second investigator speaking to him. Less than 24 hours, between 20 and 24 hours later, Summer Wells disappeared and was never seen again. Okay? On the 14th, Dudley describes Don Wells as being distraught. Don Wells was slumped over in a tub on the 14th. The 14th was the day that the Department of Children and Family Services were coming to the house. Don was laying in a tub in one of their houses, slumped over, and wasn't right. And Dudley came in and was like, what's going on? And this is the same day that Don Wells fired Dudley. The day before, so the day before Summer Wells disappears, he fires Dudley. Later that night, he has the Department of Children and Family Services at his house. And the very next day, within 20 to 24 hours, Summer Wells was gone and gone forever. That's the timeline. That is an odd timeline. And one of the first people that Don Wells blamed was who? Dudley Ajan. Dudley Ajan was the first one that he pointed the finger at. And they went and beat on his door at 2 o'clock in the morning, his daddy's door, so they could do an interview with him to find out where he was and if he had anything to do with Summer Wells' disappearance, which he did not. Is he a drug addict? Yes, he is. Was he on the substances at the time? I don't know. It seems like a whole lot of people in this community are on heavy substances. So, there is that. Hey, Annie's, it's nice to see you, love. Grave Crime with Grace, good morning. Pussy Willow Pendercat, nice to see ya. So we do have this situation, now don't we? And it's not making sense, and we're seeing a clear setup, okay? And that setup started on the 14th. It may have been talked to between them, Candace and Don, on the 13th because they knew of this appointment. But something led Don Wells to do substances all through the night at a house he was working on, and he was sleeping and slumped over and in a just a down mood, laying in a tub on a job site when Dudley came to work on the 14th. The 14th, not the 15th.
Rural. I don't see this more as a crime of opportunity. I see this as somebody, like was already said, where someone was either lying in wait or identified that a child was in the house, because I just don't think there was enough time for someone to have inadvertently driven up, walked up, grabbed her, and gone. Mom's passed a polygraph test. That is fantastic. So now they've ruled her out in that regard. They can start spreading a little bit further. I am also equally encouraged by the fact that Texas EquiSearch is involved, Midwest EquiSearch. And they're good. They're really good at what they do, and they have a lot of different technology to use. And so I think that their focus is probably going to be that wooded area and some others.
Yeah, they're coming in over the weekend. Let's take a look at a really wide shot to give you another perspective here, Joseph. As you can see where the house is, there are no neighbors there. There's no neighbors, and that arrow again is pointing to that same door that we've been pointing to in the other pictures. I just look at so isolated, Joseph, so isolated. That's what is so striking to me.
Yeah, it is. And this is one of the things regarding what Heather had stated, that this is, in my opinion at least, a planned event. This is not something where she's in a large metropolitan area. Someone would have, first off, would have had to have known that this residence was back there. So as an investigator, you begin to think about that. Who would have access to this area? Who would know how to get there? Who would know the...
Now we have to remember when it comes to this case, very specifically, that Summer Wells' family were addicts. They had a revolving door of strangers constantly coming to their house. Okay? Candace, when Dawn was in Utah, had no problem picking up a strange guy and bringing him home to her family. A strange guy. God knows what he was doing to the kids. Didn't seem like it was a concern for Candace. Okay? When Dawn was in Utah, she would pick up, drive by, see a cute guy, pick him up and take him home. She was just like that.
The points of entry and exit, and where they could make their way through there without being seen. So it requires some indwelling knowledge and familiarity with that specific area. I hope that the wooded area around there was kind of locked down. The reason is if there was a point where an observable point where an individual could have been laying in wait, for instance, they may have stayed there for a while. And as a result of that, they could have left evidence in that specific area, say cigarette butts, candy wrappers, footprints, anything like that. So it has to be thoroughly searched. And that's the key to all of this. I agree. I don't think she just wandered off in a straight line and left. Remember, she's barefooted, Ben. She's not going to make it very far. She might be just sitting in the woods crying in the short period of time. I think somebody got their hands on her.
Okay, Erica.
So I think that's the sentiments of a lot of people, but I don't think that is. Let me see when this came about. This came about 4 years ago. You know, the question is, did she ever make it back home alive? That's the major question I see that nobody seems to want to discuss, is whether or not she has made it back alive. And it doesn't appear, it may be possible that she didn't because of the milk jugs. Let me see if I've got, let me turn this off real quick and see if we've got the milk jug. Thought we had the milk jug. Thought we had the milk jug. Hold on. Let me take my face off and see if it's behind me. Yeah. There she is, right there. Right there. Let me get you the comments a little bit smaller there so it's out of her face. So she's leaning up against, but what you can't see in this particular picture is the fact that her fingernails are turning purple. Okay, and if you look at her lips, she's very pale. You look at her lips are kind of having a purple tint to them, and then you've got the cuticles of her her fingers turning purple. Okay. This is what was observed in this photo. Okay. But look at how fair her skin is. Look at how fair her skin is. It's just, unfortunately, I have questions whether she arrived at the house alive. Okay. I truly believe something happened at the watering hole where she drowned or lost her footing or took in some water, because what Hunter described to Chris McDonough early on in this case, he was there within the first 6 months, so a lot of the information was very much top of mind for these folks. That would be the most realistic, in my opinion, statement. You could tell that it appeared that Hunter was fabricating some information for the benefit of Candace, and I think it comes back to that that situation where I believe that Candace was doing things inappropriate with Hunter prior to this event. I think it's something that's cultured in their families, on both sides of their families. Don Wells has, incestual type of crimes and stuff on his side of the family. And so does Candace. They all have these very deviant type of family members. Like Candace's uncle is charged with R and incestuous stuff with family members and things like that in the history. I mean, it's really taboo when it comes to both sides of this family. And so because we learned about that, obviously this being the only female child in the home, and Don Wells also being one of those deviants himself, let me change it then. But this is true crime, so you guys are going to have to learn to deal a little bit, okay? I don't do trigger warnings. This is the name of the game, so just FYI. But I do believe she's gone. I do believe she's gone. And I've always had the question of whether she was alive when she arrived at home. There's no evidence she was, okay? And there was something weird about what happened outside of the grocery store with Hunter having to be out there sitting in the truck with Summer. Why did they not all go into the store? That's a huge question for me. Why was he sitting out there with this child? It sounds to me like they went to go get a bunch of milk to sit her on top of milk. That's what it sounds like. And again, makes me wonder what happened. So I've got questions. I've got a lot of questions when it comes to this. We went to everything on our timeline. We're going to start breaking down the timeline again. We're not only just going to be breaking down the timeline, but we are going to break down the timeline. We are going to go to all the places they went that day on that before they returned home. We took their whole timeline and put it in a video. We went to the hippie house. We went to the smoke shop. We went to every place that Candace said they went to that day. And we were there 6 months, after this happened. So we've got all of those interviews. We've got all these interviews with other people, the random people that were accused of being possibly or attempting to do something to Summer Wells. Okay, we do have those. And we're going to go over all of those. Over the next several weeks, we're going to be breaking down the Summer Wells case. We're going to be bringing up, we've got to maintain our breaking news cases because there's still cases that are coming about every single day. But we're going to start focusing on the Summer Wells case just a little bit while we have this renewed hope and action in this, and hopefully maybe we can get some interest back into the case, and hopefully get this in front of somebody that might have more information. And once we get the more information, we're going to be able to help advance this case. We need the bad guys behind bars. At the end of the day, that's what we need. We need the bad guys behind bars. There's bad guys in this story. I truly believe. I do not believe this child was sold. And Rose Bly, thank you, Veronica, is one of the reasons why I do not believe this child was sold. There is one component both with Rose Bly and Summer Wells, and that component is Grandis. And Grandis is one person that happened to leave the mountain before anybody else did. And I think she left there with something. I think she took evidence away from that mountain. Again, I don't like law enforcement because in Tennessee, they don't do their blessed job. And part of their job is following these yahoos, finding out where they're going. They had TBI, they had FBI involved. Why in the hell would Grandis ever be able to go across state lines without somebody tailing her? This is where Tennessee fails in every blessed case. They fail. They fail. Every blessed time the state of Tennessee fails in these type of cases. Why? Because they don't know what the hell they are doing. That's why. They don't know what the hell they are doing. They don't tag these people. They don't follow these people. They follow Dawn and Candace. But what about Grandis? There was another adult in that blessed house that you allowed to go across state lines unobstructed. And she was associated with another missing persons case. Rose Bly, her own daughter. And we know Grandis is as evil can get. The woman is a problem. She is the shot caller of that mountain. She is a disgusting pig that has abused her own child. Candace is mentally slow because of her own mother. Okay? Her mother did what Candace Bly is like that because of her mother. I want you guys to understand that. Her mother was a piece of shit when Candace was growing up. Her mother was a pig then. Her mother's a pig now. And her mother is involved with 2 family members disappearing and never being found. There's only one person that was around both of these cases. One and only one. And that is Grandis. And yes, and that is facts. Candace and Dawn, I think they were in Arkansas when Rose Bly disappeared. They might have been in Utah. But if my memory serves me correctly, they were not anywhere near Rose Bly. But you know who was? Bingo. Her mother and the mother's RSO brother. Grandis has a brother that has the incestuous, the taboo crimes in his history. So this whole entire family, both sides of it, is messed up. This child has been abused. All the children in that house have been abused. All the children in this house have been abused. Maybe essayed. We don't know, but definitely abused. Abused by a physical abuse, abused by verbal and mental abuse, visual abuse, having to watch all the substances and sex going on inside that house with the adults. The kids even had holes to watch it happen. Kids were outside the door when the adults went in there to play. There was a hole outside of the door that they could watch. It was disgusting. It was a deplorable, immoral household. And there were such young children and impressionable children there all the time. I think that's the reason why she's gone. I really do. I think that Dawn knew on the 14th when she spoke to the investigator by herself, he knew they were coming back for her. And I truly believe if she would have went into the system, they would have taken her to a doctor. It would have been very visible and very noticeable early on that she's not a normal 5-year-old girl, and they would have been in a lot of trouble. And I think that that's part of the planning. Now, that's one theory. But it doesn't dismiss what happened at the water hole. I don't believe the water hole was intentional. And there was something that happened there. Because Hunter was never the same again. He did not make it to their house. So whatever happened to Summer that made him abnormal and never normal again happened before they got home. So it was either the water hole and them trying to cover up the crime by going to the store where he had to sit out there with a body next to him while they ran into the store to get milk to try to keep her temperature up so she didn't go to rigor, because maybe they just weren't smart and they didn't know. They just wanted to, they didn't want that. We don't know what happened, but there's a reason why they put her in this hot ass suit. I mean, she was in a jogger suit in the middle of summer. The suit that you see her in, that's a jogging suit, folks. I know you guys don't want to see this photo, but we're going to see it. That's a long sleeve, long pants suit in the middle of summer. In the middle of summer. And there was no air conditioning in this truck. And from my understanding, they left them out there in this truck for hours or an hour or 30 minutes or something like that. It was a long time. It wasn't just to run into the store, grab some things and leave. Something else happened in there. So, all those things we don't know about. Law enforcement hasn't told us anything. They just haven't told us anything, so we really don't know. All right, guys, well, I am going to close out the show with this. This is not the ending. We still have Vinnie Politan. We still have more shows that must go on. We still haven't gotten to Annie Elise yet. We still have Annie Elise to go over. We still have this update from Veriscope to go over. And this is body language and deception detection. We still have a lot to go over in this case. Okay? So we're not done yet. This is going to be ongoing. We're going to be going back to the beginning of this case. We're going to revisit every aspect of it. We're going to revisit every person that was accused of doing something. I can't see. Apparently YouTube is working. What? We can't see. Can't see what? What can't you see? Is everything going on okay on YouTube? You can't see the photo. What photo? Yeah, I can see you on YouTube. They can't see the pics. Oh, they're behind me. I just turned this on. This was the pics right here. I just changed right there. Is that what you're looking for? Summer with the milk. Okay. Yeah, that's because I turned this on. So I just needed to turn that off. Can you guys see it now? Are you guys trying to analyze it or something? Because you're vertical. Oh, that one. Oh, sorry. Okay, I see what you're saying now. Sorry. Oh, I put the slideshow up. Hold on. Green screen. Let me turn this off. And I will turn this off. And then, okay, so, all right, I see what you guys are saying. You guys couldn't see this over here on this side. So it is running. I don't know if I couldn't find it on vertical. I really couldn't. Can you guys see it now? No picture of Summer? It's just too small? That should take up the whole damn page. Go to the left more you can. Okay. Well. Oh, wow. So I guess we are running on landscape mode and our portrait mode. And there she is. Okay. Okay. So you guys can see her on that screen now. Okay. So maybe I shouldn't add my beloved face to hers. Hold on. Let me move me. Oh, nope. Wrong one. Hold on. Oops. There we go. Is that better? That's kind of cool. Sorry, guys. I'm still trying to figure it all out. You know, it's tiny. It shouldn't be. I've got it completely. It should take up the whole entire. I don't know what you guys are seeing. Let me go in here and see what you guys are looking at. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I know nothing. Absolutely 100% perfect, they say. Okay. Well, I don't know what I'm doing here, so you guys are just going to have to bear with me. Let me see what I look like. It's not letting me go in at all. It's just not. You're fine now, thank you. You're not the only one that's happening to a lot of because we now have this ability to do vertical and landscape, and I tried to, but I couldn't see where I was going vertical, and I thought that it wasn't coming through. And so I have two different things. I know it's being put somewhere because it's showing me that it's running. It's showing me that it's been live for an hour and 28 minutes, but I've got all these error codes that are reading behind the scenes saying that it's not streaming well. And then so I figured I must not be streaming vertically. I must be just on the horizontal, and so I was just adjusting that, and then you guys started screaming that you couldn't see Summer Wells, and the only place you couldn't see Summer Wells was on the vertical. And so I moved vertical, and you guys, oh, it's perfect. And I'm like, okay, well, obviously we're coming in on vertical on YouTube somewhere. I just can't find it. I'll be okay. I will be okay. Eventually, I'll be just fine. I don't even know if we have, it's just showing me one behind the scenes. It's just showing me literally one live going on right now. But, apparently we got two different kind of lives going on. So that's kind of interesting for me. I've never quite... hopefully I can go back and check it out and see how it all works out. But this will be pretty interesting for me. It'll be pretty interesting for me. So hopefully everything worked out well. Hopefully you guys are seeing Summer Wells behind me on the milks. She's in a hot suit. This is in the middle of summer of 2021, and if you guys don't know Tennessee hot, it's hot. She had just left the watering hole. She had already had some clothes that she had on, and then she got into a bathing suit. Where were those clothes? Why didn't they put her back into the same clothes that she changed out of the bathing suit in? Because she wasn't in the bathing suit when she left the house from everything that we were told. So why is she put in this hot jumper? It doesn't make sense. Why wasn't she just put back? Even when I go over to my best friend's house to go swimming, I bring my swimsuit and a towel, right? Because what happens after I go swimming, I put my clothes that I went to her house. I put those back on my body. I don't put new clothes, fresh clothes back on my body. I put the clothes that I went over to her house originally in before I changed into my bathing suit. And I'm pretty sure that part of Hunter's story was expressing that Summer was dressed in her swimsuit. She didn't come with her swimsuit, if I recall correctly. We'll have to go back to those. There might be some stuff that I'm mistaken because I haven't touched this case in a couple years. I mean, we've touched some updates, but nothing really, major. It's fine. We can see Summer. We can see you hearing. That's what talked. Hello to everyone in the chat. Oh, thank you, Bubby. Terry, it's nice to see you. They said there are 2 lives running now on YouTube, one for the phone and the other one for the tablet or computer. Got it. Justin has been running 2. No, I know that, but see, I'm on OBS. I don't pay for service. I don't pay for StreamYard or Restream. So in order for me to run vertically and horizontally, I had to add a plugin, and this is my first time running with the plugin. See, everything that's done on StreamYard, that's built by OBS, the open source system. It's that the basis of it is the open source system. So I'm basically bypassing the middleman and doing my own thing. And so if there's a new feature out, I've got to find the plugin or the extension and download it on my computer so it works well. So that is kind of what we've been doing here. So I'll try to keep this cognizant now that I know that it is truly running and that the people that are on landscape mode can see it in landscape mode if you're on a tablet or a computer or TV, and the people on their cell phone, they can see it more visibly pleasing for the portrait mode. So I'm glad to know that it's working. I didn't know if it was working before, so it's just it's a little bit more work because I got to make sure that you guys are all aligned, because you're all pulling from the same stuff vertically and horizontally. So I'm constantly having to adjust the ratios on the vertical side as opposed to the landscape side. It's just a learning curve, but if you guys like it, we're not tech savvy. I'm not tech savvy either. I use Google. I'm telling you, I'm not a mechanic either, but I'm not a small appliance worker either, but you guys know I'm a cheap bitch, okay? Right? Right? And it's true, I am. You ask my best friend, she will tell you. I know Sonia doesn't like the B word, but I'm going to tell you, my best friend calls me a cheap bitch all the time. She's like, that's my cheap bitch right there, right? Like, if I want nice things, she usually buys me the nice things. You see these? Oh, I didn't put my beautiful gold hoops in. But the beautiful gold hoops that you see me wearing, my day hoops, those are gold, right? Because I buy cheap $5.99, things that have 10 pairs of hoops, right? All different size hoops. And that's what I put in my ears. And my best friend's like, because I was about to go see Penn Badgley. We were doing some recordings for... a case in North Carolina. And so she was like, you're not meeting Penn Badgley with those cheap ass hoops. So she, of course, buys me, the gold hoops to put in my ears so I could meet Penn Badgley. And very appreciative of my best friend. She's been keeping me, she's been keeping me fly, when I can't even keep myself fly. I'm just saying. My strut comes from my BFF. That's all Laura. Okay, I just want to throw that out there. That's all Laura. Okay, she spoils me. What can I say? She's my BFF. I wish I had the ability to spoil her. I just don't. So I spoil her grandbabies. They're a lot cheaper to spoil. But she's a little more bougie. Okay, bougie and cheap bitch don't go well. It's like a one-way, friendship here when it comes to nice things. Like I'll give her kids, her grandkids, some nice stuff, kind of, sort of, stuff that they can play with, break it, do whatever they want with it. But when it comes to her, I'll buy her coffee cups or a shirt. When it comes to me, she bought me Kinkos. I've been having neck and back problems. By the way, my neuropathy, these shoes are ugly as shit. If you guys know me, I'm a blingy person, okay? If I'm going out, I want to bling. I want to glitter, okay? I want to bedazzle myself, okay? It's not for you, it's for me. I just like it, okay? And so all my flip-flops I buy have, the rhinestones. I'm not wearing them today, so I'll show you. See? They have to bling, okay? I'm a blingy person, and I like thick. I don't like those little thin things, okay? I got bad back. You can't have those paper thin flip-flops and expect to still have a good back. So, anyways, I've been complaining about my shoulder, my back. I went over there. Remember I told you I forgot having an entire conversation with her, and it was for me to come over and get those icy hot patches that she had. She wanted me to try them out. They actually worked. I put it on my lower back when I had the sciatica issue just the other day. But then she's like, you know what? I'm sick and tired of this. So what does she do? She gets me shoes, right? When I was down and out and I was kind of depressed, what did she get me? She got me Delilah, okay? She sees me jacked up. She sees me not remembering. I'm in a lot of pain, I'm swallowing handfuls of ibuprofen, handfuls of Aleve. Things are not working well for me. So what does she do? She gives me my Christmas gift a little early, and she got me Kinkos. Now, these are butt ugly flip-flops, but they're flip-flops. I can't complain. Okay. Now I could bedazzle them. They make a lot. I could make them glitter. Okay. I can do something with them if I wasn't so lazy to boot. Right. So I just like the Kinkos. So I'm just gonna wear. She is very sweet. She's my BFF. But she's my ride or die. So you say anything bad, I'll be careful. I would be careful. She is my ride or die, okay? I'm just letting you know. You don't want to be going up there talking shit about me. You might be picking yourself up off the floor and not realize how you got down there. Okay, I'm just saying. She is my ride or die. Okay, I'm just saying she's a sweet lady. She's about just like me. She's a bee, but she's not a heartless bee, okay? I'm just saying. When we first met, we were ready to go to blows over my fence. Okay, this is my fence. I own the fence. Okay, I'm taking down the chain link. She's a nosy broad. Okay, she's a nosy broad. So I'm taking down my very much see-through fence, chain link fence, and I am putting up a wood fence. Well, she didn't like it because she's a nosy broad, right? So she likes to be nosy. So she didn't like the privacy, and she didn't like the fact that I was taking where her stuff was set up on, right? And she thought I should have come over and knocked on her door and let her know I'm removing the fence. Yeah, that ain't happening. Okay. So after this thing almost comes to blows, we're like, yeah, you seem like a pretty all right chick. And I'm like, yeah, you do too. Hey, you want to be friends? Yeah, why not? Want to come over for some coffee? Sure. All right, come on over. And then there you go. 20 years later, here we are. So that's kind of our, the best friends are the ones that you almost, ready to take off the head, and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, how you doing? You seem like a pretty cool chick. Mine isn't a Laura. She's a Kim. There you go. There you go. But I gotta tell you, she does all the nice things for me. But I gotta tell you, she's like, you gotta wear them in the house too, because I don't wear shoes in the house. I try to keep my floors clean. Occasionally I'm a little lax on that too. But she's like, you need to wear them in the house. I'm like, oh yeah, all right. I'll wear the damn shoes in the house. So I've been wearing the shoes. And for the last few nights, I will be honest with you, I haven't woke up in the middle of the night with back pain. Surprisingly enough, these ugly ass shoes actually help. I'm going to go get these damn flip-flops. You have to see these ugly things. All right, you guys ready? These are probably, they're not the worst shoes, the worst flip-flops in the world, right? But these damn things are ugly as shit, okay? They're not blingy, okay? Let's do a comparison for you, okay? Betty, best friend. Painful, sleep well. Painful, sleep well. Painful, sleep well. They are comfy. Well, you know what? It's this. See, you know what's causing all of my... This right here is the game changer. It's this. It's that thing right there. It's like a pillow, okay? That's it right there. It's a pillow. It's a pillow. Okay? I am a heel walker. I don't know how many are heel walkers, okay? My mother is a toe walker because she's elegant. She knows how to walk in heels, okay? I'm a tomboy, okay? I've been in boots. I don't like heels. I wear heels. I wear heels with big, I don't wear stilettos, okay? Especially after breaking my ankle. I was a little more on the higher shoe and stiletto stuff, but until I cracked my ankle right above the knob, that all came to an end. Now we're with the wide back, I don't mind height, but you're giving me a thick base and you're not giving me height on a toothpick. Okay. We ain't doing that. Okay. I'm not going to sit there and try to figure out, I'm not going to get seasickness on shoes. So I'm a heel walker. I'm not a toe walker. A lot of you ladies, especially if you're elegant or you've been in modeling or anything like that, you will be a toe walker. Okay? My cousin was a toe walker, but she was a model. She was a model for years and years and years before she became a hair beautician. And she was also a toe walker. I'm a heel walker. That causes me problems. What it means is I walk with my heel. So when I put my foot down, my heel goes down first, then the front. So that's how I walk. That's how I walk. Other people walk like this. Okay? So you have toe walkers and you have heel walkers. Heel walkers, I can guarantee you're probably going to have the most ankle and feet problems of everybody, because I think that is exactly why I have plantar fasciitis, because I walk on my heel. And the first thing is that thing. That's why I tell you, when it comes to this Kinko, that's why this, for me, is the most important piece. You see that? Hold on, let me get the angle just right so you guys can see it a little better. There it is. So this right here, that's like a cloud. It's a hard, jelly thing right here. So when you hit that, it's not hurting you're not rubbing heel on bone, And believe it or not, you can bruise bone. And I really do believe that might be more in line with what plantar fasciitis is the bruising of the bone. of the heel, that goes up. So I stub my toe when I walk. So I'm a toe walker. Gotcha. I'm a heel walker. No high heels for me. Exactly. You can't. So, but I used to buy all the different color flip-flops, but they were the thin. And I noticed that my feet, I noticed that you can tell, because in those thinner flip-flops, I bore out. I bore out the heel within a month. You can see the dip. It almost looks like there should be a hole getting ready to go through it. That's how rough I am on my heels. That's how hard I walk on my heels first. Want to be sleuth, and it's nice to see you. How did I pop in when you were talking about ankles? I twisted my... Oh, no, that sucks. That sucks. I'm so sorry. No, we were talking about Kinko's. My best friend got me my Christmas gift, and I was complaining about how ugly the shoe is. But I got to tell you, since I started wearing these, and she's making me wear them in the house. I know I'm wearing my decorated ones, but it's because I was just walking over here, and I couldn't find my Kinko's, but I went and got them, and they have like a little padded right here in the middle, right here, and they have another one here, and there's gel here and gel here, and this really, I like the neuropathy, like me waking up and my fingers being dead in the morning. That was gone, and that happens only occasionally. And I knew that was happening because I was getting the neuropathy, and I was having all these problems on my left side of my body. It started with my shoulder, then it went to my sciatica, and it stayed there right in my lower back for a really long time. And my lower back is still a little sore, but it's not pinching the nerves. This is correcting the pinched nerves back there where it's causing that neuropathy. In the morning, and the neuropathy, if you don't know what neuropathy is, it's when you wake up and your fingers are sleeping, they're dead. You got to kind of shake your hands. That's because you got nerves and something being pinched. Your fingers are not supposed to fall asleep. It wasn't because you were laying on your shoulder all night, okay? There's something else going on when you start having that. That's neuropathy. And so this has helped with the neuropathy on my left side as well. The sciatica has released, and I don't feel that big knot in my shoulder. So honestly, it's shoes. We don't think about, I know we were about to close out this, and I know we kind of got really off topic with this, but in all fairness, I really do believe a lot of our back problem is attributed to our shoes, because this is proof of that. I wear shoes and flip-flops all the time. My ankles hurt, okay? I put on other different kinds of flip-flops, one that's designed for maybe my walking and my feet. And all those problems that I have with normal flip-flops go away. That tells me that it's my flip-flops, my cheap flip-flops, because I'm a cheap bitch. I buy cheap flip-flops. I don't buy the Skechers. I go to Walmart and buy the $12.94, thick flip-flops with the jewels on them. And I'm happy because it has the jewels on them. I'm not thinking about my ankles. I'm thinking about how cute they are, right? Did this go with these leggings and these shorts? Oh, yes, they do. Those are my flip-flops I'm buying this month, right? My feet problem was blocked veins. Ugh. I think my feet problems are shoes. So I guess there's a few of them. Sciatica? I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that. Well, you know what, Jenny? Try some. If it's something to do with walking and stuff, maybe try the Kinko's. I'm telling you, it resolved a lot of my issues. And I would have never bought them. She says they're ugly shoes, but they're pretty expensive, or they're higher up on the flip-flops, especially for the ugliness of them. But they're really good. And actually, it's not really that bad. When I do wear them, it's not that bad. It's not completely horrible. It's about the same type of design. It's just, one has bling and one kind of is bland, right? I guess so this is kind of bland, but it's not the worst thing that could have happened. It really isn't. It's not the worst thing. So I think I'm very happy with these. They hurt a little bit when I first started wearing them, and I think that's why she was making me wear them in the house. She wants me to break them in. But once I broke them in, I was fine. These things are really helping. So I'm not going to say they're not helping, and I'm not going to pass out around the information in case somebody else is dealing with the same stuff I'm dealing with. I think it's worth a try. Well, she got them on Amazon, so, and I think it's Kinko, Kinko's flip-flops, I think. But it's worth a try. All right. Oh, I didn't realize I had this. I wasn't trying to keep this up. Sorry, guys. I know some people didn't want to see this. Sorry. I wasn't trying to be rude. Sorry, I just got sidetracked. Anyways, guys, that's the end of our show. I hope you guys are here. I'm glad we got the landscape portion working. You're going to have to remind me because I've got 2 screens that I've got to try to modify and adjust, and they require their own separate screens and sources. So all the screens and sources that I have for my traditional show, the wide screen show, not the vertical show, those have been set up. We've been setting those up for the last few months, and now we're starting this vertical side, and so these are not showing up at all. Okay. So I've got to rebuild everything that's on landscape. I got to rebuild for, vertical. So we kind of have so when I do the same, and I have to have them listed in the same order. So when I'm working on one, I can pop through both of them at the same time. They're not on the same buttons. I've got to set up 2 separate. It's just weird. I know I don't want to bore you with the details. It's just weird. It's on my phone. What it is buffering is what is buffering. And it was telling me because it was telling me it was dropping. That's why I kept asking people, is it dropping? Is it dropping? And it's saying that it's dropping. I think I need to put both stream keys in. They have a one stream key and a backup stream key, and I think the backup is important on the vertical. So I'll do some more research on it. It's just a setting. So whatever's going on with it, guys, we will resolve it. But I want to thank you guys very, very much for working with me. Sciatica, I can't pronounce it. Sciatica. Oh, sciatica. Good gracious. Sciatica. Sciatica can because from energy, osteoarthritis, and stress. Sorry. Jenny, now I know what you're saying. Sciatica. No, if you've got sciatica issue, get these Kinkos because mine went from my shoulder to my sciatica, and it was very, very painful. I couldn't get comfortable. I laid down, I sat up. I couldn't get comfortable no matter what. I took my deep tissue massager, and I was literally screaming. I put it right on my bum a little bit, right where that sciatica was acting up. And I put it on that deep tissue, and I literally screamed. It hurt so damn bad. But it was just, I needed to get some type of relief, and I needed to work it out. It still didn't work it all the way out, but it did give me the relief with the massager. But I've got to tell you, these Kinkos, I was still kind of, back and forth. You could feel that whatever was going on with the sciatica, as well as the knot in the shoulder, were still there because they were just you could still feel them, but not like it was. It wasn't painful, nagging or anything like that. But you could just, like every time you turned or did something, you could tell it was just, something was still there. Since having these flip-flops and wearing them as much as I've been wearing them, those knots have gone away. So I truly believe it does do that. Yeah, I can't imagine that. Well, try them. I mean, I will tell you, you got to break the shoes in. So my best friend, she told me to wear the shoes. When I first got them on, I didn't like it. One of them was rubbing the side of my foot. It felt like I was going to get a blister on it. I didn't get the blister, but I just broke them in. And I've never had a break in flip-flops before, but I did have to break in these flip-flops. And I think I'm just through the breaking in process of these flip-flops, which only took me, several days. I think she gave them to me last Saturday. So it hasn't even been a full week, and I've already corrected a lot of the problems that I have, so try it. I mean, it's a little bit, but if you have sciatica issues and you're in a pain, you're willing to just try about anything. I know I am. So I would get some Kinkos flip-flops and just see if that helps, but just wear them everywhere. When you're if you're even at work, if you have heels at work, put your heels on when you need to walk around the office, but when you're just in the back office and you're running from your computer to the copy machine, put the Kinkos on. right? Put the Kinkos on. When you're meeting with the appointment, put the nice shoes back on. And then also wear those Kinkos around your house. Everywhere you go, wear them around the house. You're working in the yard, wear them in the yard. You're working in the house, wear them in the house. I like I said, she told me to do it. I was begrudging about it, but I went ahead and did it anyways. And I even been wearing them inside the home. And that has helped. And I got to tell you, I've had two totally nights without any neuropathy and without any pain. Very little tossing and turning at night as well. And the only thing I can attribute to that is these ugly flip-flops. So I'm going to say they're ugly because they're ugly, but I'm going to still wear them because they make me feel better. So there you have it, folks. There you have it. All right, guys. Well, I'm glad everything worked out. Thank you for being here. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe, but more importantly, kind to one another. Well, you know, kind of, sort of, right? I'm having some major issues with a lot of people that are miserable women, miserable men that are just miserable and try to make everybody miserable. And those people, I don't know if I'll ever be able to be nice to them. I want them to stay away from me. I only want positivity. I know it's very hard to find positivity with the work we do because the work we do is a lot of death and a lot of pain. But even the work that we do is still rewarding. You know, when we get the bad guy behind jail, when we get the case closed, when things are all starting to work, you know, those are good days. Those are the things that fill up our cup. You know, when we're here and we're still spinning, trying to close these cases, trying to get enough attention to the case where we get in front of people with the information that can truly help and close a case. That's what we're eager to find. That's what we're eager to do. And these cases sometimes just, they drag on. And we all feel like it's unnecessary for these to drag on, that there is evidence. If they just push a little harder, you know, think outside of the box, do something a little creative. We feel like it's just right there. It's that close. It's that obtainable. And yet they still fall short. And it's the most frustrating, helpless, and hopeless feeling you'll ever deal with. But again, it's part of the process. So we've got rejuvenated hope in the Summer Wells case, and we're going to capitalize on that, right? We're going to hone in on that. We're going to energize the base with that hope and pray to God that something is going to become of this. We want to get this stuff out. We want to make sure that we're impactful. We want to get in front of the right people to say, you know what? I was there that day. I do remember something funny. And call the 1-800-TBI fine number in and break the case wide open. Obviously, somebody said something that reinvigorated this case listen, law enforcement for the first time in this case in a very long time, I don't ever remember hearing confidence in law enforcement voice since the beginning of this case. I don't remember ever hearing confidence in their voice. Hearing them say, this case is far from cold, was music to my ears. It was music to my ears. And so this is the first good stuff, and we're going to take it and we're going to run with it. You know why? Because this is the only positive information we've had for this poor baby girl in a really long time. And it's giving us all just a little bit of hope. Just a little bit of hope. So, Summer Wells, we're still looking for you. I really truly believe she's gone. I want to find her so she can be put to rest properly. And when this is all said and done, we are going to be moving for a monument in her name in Hawkins County. You guys know that. If you guys don't know that, prepare for that, because we are going to get really busy once this is all said and done, because once we have an understanding of what it is, we're going to make sure that monument stands loud and proud in Hawkins County in a very public and we're going to find the money for it. We are going to make sure our government gets the money that they need to make sure that is erected in her honor and her name. And that's going to be coming down the pike, but that's already been I'm going to tell you, for years, that has already been the vision, but we can't really set up a monument or a memorial, something that's going to be there for a long time, without resolution to this case, without figuring out what we're going to put on that monument for her. And it might be something with domestic violence. It might be something with abduction. You know, I don't believe it's going to be abduction. I think we're going to be dealing with mommy and daddy being responsible here. But we're always going to leave the door open because at the end of the day, this case has not been resolved. And just because we feel that we have enough information and enough supporting documentation and evidence to say that the parents are responsible, they are not behind bars. They have never been formally tagged as suspects in the case. And so until we know for sure, we're going to be here stuck until we know what happened to this young girl. But once we find out, we are going to be pushing for a monument in downtown Hawkins County in Rogersville. They have a beautiful little quaint city there. And we're going to make sure that Summer Wells is never forgotten. And we plan on doing the same thing for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. But again, we need to find out what happened to him before that next step can be had. It was done for Gabby Petito. We didn't have a hand in Gabby Petito's. There was other members of the community that stepped up to the plate and took the bull by the horns and got that done. But we don't have, Florida's a little different than these other states, okay? Clearly, these other states don't have backbone. And I'm not trying to be totally disrespectful to the community at large. Some people have it, some people don't. I was angry about it for a while, and I tried to shame people into, action. And it doesn't matter. You're never going to shame people that don't care. Okay, they can go sit in pews, they can go and say that they're Christian, they can go and say a lot of things, but when they sit there and they shut the Bible when they walk out that church and they don't do anything that they're being taught inside that church, well, that's something they're going to have to deal with at some point in their life. But for many of us, we stand up, we speak up, we take the bull by the horns. We don't allow this to happen. We don't allow our government to tell us what we can and cannot speak about, We don't allow our government to shame us into silence. I don't know where you come from, but I come from Florida, and I didn't know I had balls, okay? I never knew that I had, this way of thinking that other people didn't have. I thought we all just kind of were like this, right? I thought that when we do see problems that we were all taught to stand up and speak up. I thought that when people, when we have problems come to our community, that we all step in and pitch in. That's just the way I was taught here in Florida from a child on up to an adult. So, it's just surprising to me that I go to a community, the state of Tennessee, which I was always taught as a younger kid was more religious, the Bible Belt, than us crazy people from Florida. Yet I see us crazy people from Florida fighting tooth and nail for victims of Tennessee when the people of Tennessee have tapped out. The good old Christian folks of Tennessee have tapped out. And, I have to keep thinking, is it me? Am I being too hard, or am I not being hard enough? And that's kind of where I'm at. Sometimes I feel like I'm not being hard enough. Because we need real people that really have hearts out there to stand up and not be fearful of their government. And if you're fearful of your government, why the hell do you keep voting them in office? That's a question only you can answer. Thank you, Angie. It's nice to see you. I appreciate you. Florida resident here. Well, then we don't play here in Florida. We just don't. I don't know why, but we just don't play here in Florida. I love our laws here in Florida. Are we perfect? No, but we're hard asses. Okay? And we push back. And thank God for us here in Florida, we have politicians that actually listen to their people. Good gracious if we were Tennessee. Even right now, we got Ron DeSantis, which I can't stand. He's even doing a decent job right now. He's trying to get rid of, which is going to be, he's not going to be able to get any other job unless he can do something about, he's running out of time to get our property taxes through. He's running out of time. And even our Florida politicians, they only want to do it for 65 and years old and older. They want all of us young people, while we're here, that we have to pay property taxes, rent our home from the government because we have our houses paid off. Okay? Because we lived within our means, we are penalized for doing that. here in the state of Florida. And so Ron DeSantis has got to get that under control because he's done as governor. Okay, he's no longer running as governor. Byron Donalds is most likely going to be our governor of the state of Florida. He's got enough support. And Ron DeSantis has got to go somewhere, right? He wants to go up, right? So if he can't secure this, if he can't get this done as one of his accolades in his bag of tricks, he's toast. He's going to have to go back to private practice. And somebody that's on the tit of the American people, they never like going back to private practice because we just throw money at our politicians. We give them everything. We give them retirement after 5 years. They're fully vested in this. Like we do things that our corporations don't even give to the American people. I think that's self-serving. I think we the people did not vote for that. I don't think we've ever hired a politician to vote for themselves a raise. And I think it's time for us as the American people to take that right back. Just me personally speaking. If we can't have it in our lives, why are we giving it to our politicians? They aren't any better than we are. Who the hell are they? Who the hell are they? When we stop making it so profitable for being a politician, we might actually get some real statesmen back. It's time for us to start defunding our government, not our police. I'm just saying. Defund the government. All right, guys, we're going to end with that, and we'll see you back here another time. I don't know how this is going to end. I'm going to do my best to end this show. We got 2 live streams apparently going. I appreciate you guys bearing with me through this, and we'll see you guys soon. So God bless.